Hello, everybody. It's Amy from Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. I hope you all are having a fabulous Tuesday. We are going to do some quick housekeeping. Hello, Robin. Hi, Gloria. You guys make sure you say hello over in the comments as you join today. In case you haven't been around in a couple of weeks, this is our new Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet logo. We hope you love it. If you missed the announcement, I'm so super excited. I get to teach add-on classes at CookieCon in Ohio. Super excited. I'll be teaching on Tuesday, and I will have a morning and an evening class that day, okay? All right, so some stuff you guys need to know right away. Don't forget we have a special guest tonight. Miss Barbie is going to be joining us from 2Bs, and we're going to talk cookie photography using your phone. So we hope that you will join us for that this evening. That's going to be at 7 p.m. in our 2 tutorial time slot. And then tomorrow night, we have an extra night of video. How fun is that? Because we just can't get it all into 2 days. So Matei Del Angel is going to join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because time hasn't changed yet. So 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central, and she's going to be sculpting something very similar to that picture there, if not that exact piece. But she's going to be doing a little witch, and I'm going to sculpt a little ghost, and we're just going to visit and chat and have a little bit of fun. So that's tomorrow night, Wednesday, September 14th. I hope you guys are going to enjoy all these special guests we're having this month. And then we will wrap up special guests this month on September 27th on the second part of 2 Tutorial Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, with our special guest, Becky Norton, also of 2Bs. And Becky is going to talk to us about preserving a showpiece cookie, or preserving any cookie really that you want to keep for long term. So I'm super excited about all of that. And as if that is not enough, don't forget, we are so excited to be having our second ever in-person retreat, Unplugged Fall Edition, at Snowshoe Mountain, West Virginia, and that is Wednesday, October 12th through Saturday, October 15th. Very excited to see all of you again. We're going to this gorgeous mini lodge. Isn't that so cool? I can't wait. All right, now, as you know, today we were supposed to start our series of ghosts, but I had to update the schedule because we had a little mini emergency last week. And instead of having a live on the second part of our 2 Tutorial Tuesday last week, I asked you guys to please support Timbo over on Icing Images because he was live on Tuesday night. So I updated the schedule. We're going to start the ghost. I think I updated that we're going to start that next Tuesday. So today we're going to finish up the sunflower because the sunflower was a very requested thing. But before we do that, I have to tell you where I've been the past few days. Maybe I should start with this. My husband is going to be okay. The medical emergency we had was very stressful. It's more so of, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can rate how stressed I was when I got the phone call. But anyway, he did not have the major event that they were telling me that they thought it was. So that was great. But now we've got a few other things to do to make sure that he's okay. And we will be taking care of that today. So thank you for the thoughts and prayers and all the well wishes you guys sent me. I really, really appreciated it. And I really appreciate that you guys knew that I was actually somewhere I had to be. So to take care of things. And that's why I missed Tuesday night, because you know I don't like to miss my time with you. So then I had a retreat booked with Tammy and Todd from 2T Stencils. And my husband, I think, let's just be perfectly honest, girls, I was a nervous wreck. And since we still didn't actually know what was wrong, even though we knew it wasn't a cardiac event, we still don't know actually what's wrong. And he needed to rest. I think he really told me to get on the plane and go because he just needed some alone time so that he could sleep and rest. And let's face it, that was not going to happen if I stayed home. So He put me on a plane to 2T Stencils in Texas, and I got to go to my first Roundup retreat, and I have to say, amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Learned so much. Can't wait to teach things to you in the group as I expound this skill set in my toolbox. Miss Tammy has given me permission to take everything I learned and bring it to the group. So over time, because it was a lot of things, over time, I will try to bring that into the group to you. But let's just say this. Get your airbrushes ready. Vroom, vroom. We're going to be airbrushing. This is something I really wanted to work on for a while, and we're going to be doing more of that shortly. Now, I have 2 new characters to the setup of Cookie Snack to introduce to you, but first, let's say hello to a few of our normal characters over here. Hello, Miss Barbie. Hi, Barbara. Mimi is here. Hello. Pamela, how are you? Sabra, how are you doing today? Hi, Becky. How are you today? All right, let's just keep going down this list right here as you guys are saying hello. Holly, hey, how are you? You are taking a lunch break today. Debbie, good for you. Oh, all right. And Debbie is super excited about the photos too, Barbie. I am really excited about the presentation that Barbie put together for you guys. I've seen it. It's fantastic. You're going to love it. Oh, let's see. I'm trying really hard, maybe. I'm trying. Hey, Nadine, how are you? How's Vancouver Island this morning? Becky, are we rocking? I have a new character for you to meet. So crazy. I'll tell you about this little guy in just a second. Can you see it? I'm trying to get it where it won't become part of the virtual background. Hold on just a second. Jen, how are you feeling, girl? Hope everything's okay. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Nancy. I hope everyone is doing well. And if you haven't said hello yet, please say hello over in the chat, okay? You guys know I like to say hello to all of you. I did tell Gloria hello, but Gloria, I don't see a comment. Tammy! Hold on. Tammy is coming to see the chicken. Let me see if that, yes, this is Tammy from 2T Stencils right here coming to see the chicken. So Tammy gave me this chicken, which is so cool, you guys. Let me see if I can lift it slowly so you can see it. Do you see the rolling pin? Look at that rolling pin. So she was somewhere and found these and just embarrassed her granddaughter like crazy, setting them all off. So listen, if you're coming to retreats, no joke, you might want some earplugs because, you know, tapping that little bell thing to get everybody's attention just really didn't work for me at the first retreat when people were talking and cutting up when we were in teaching time. So I'm going to bring the chicken, and the chicken is going to be the thing I'm going to squeeze when I need your attention because I'm just not really good at the loud talking or the, I don't do the whistle thing that everybody else can do, and no one heard that little bell. So we're going to bring the chicken. So you guys, what do you want to name this chicken? He's so cool. We really laughed about this chicken. Let's see, Jen. Oh yeah, where Jen is, they're having really bad forest fires again this year, you guys. So thoughts and prayers that way to you all. I know, Dawn, we had so much fun, and I'm so glad I was there because I think if I had stayed home, I would still be super stressed today because we go to an appointment today, and I think I would have just been nonstop stressed, but I got there, decompressed, got focused on what we were doing, learning, and plus made some fabulous new friendships that I'm super excited about. Loved all the ladies that were there. It was just so much fun, and it was a small group. So listen, Tammy has a lot of different retreats. So if there's any open, you need to go read them and read the descriptions and decide if you want to go to as they're coming up again, because right now a bunch of them are full. But she has some that are on the Mississippi coastline. Glamping is in Texas, but it's a really big group. Ours was at the Raggedy Ann Inn, and it was a really small group. So we got a lot of personalized attention and just amazing, amazing, amazing time. And can't say enough good things about Tammy, her husband, the retreat, the food. Isn't this chicken hilarious? I mean, it's like she's got curlers on. She's got the 1950s glasses. They're perfect, right? Does that look good? And this rolling pin. I mean, come on. This is like perfect. So, hey, Gloria. Wait, let's see. So at the retreat, Debbie, you and Allison can sit next to each other as long as when the chicken talks, you guys don't talk. So funny. I love this thing. They are the best, totally the best. I had a great time. And I somehow came back feeling like rejuvenated, even though I thought I was just going to be freaking out about Brian the whole time. When I got home, I was actually rested. And I feel like I can keep going that because that was a really, really odd Tuesday last week, you guys, a very surreal phone call. Yes, Mimi, you have to. You have to. Could be hard to do. It might be hard to do. Okay, so that's our other new character. We can name her. I kind of feel like she's like a Miss Mabel or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know what her name should be yet, but with these curlers in her hair and the glasses and this rolling pin, and she's got like lace, supposed to be like can you see that, like that lace collar? She's just so funny. But I love it. And Tammy the chicken's great. So I'll try not to drive you all crazy with it, but Tammy specifically said it was 4-2 Tutorial Tuesday. All right, so then, you guys, before we start this sunflower, we took Sunday as a day to go see, what's that place called? Tammy, are you still on here? Oh, you like Beatrice. I think she's Miss Mabel. I'm not sure. And maybe Maple. Like maple syrup, maybe Miss Maple. I don't know. We'll see. We were going to go to Waco to see Magnolia. Do you guys know what it's called? Its real name? It's not just Magnolia. It's something else. But at the moment, it's escaping me, and I can't seem to pull it out of the cobwebs. So, yeah. But isn't there more to it than just Magnolia? Priscilla, you think it should be Marge? Pink chicken name. Hey, Cindy, Whoopi, how you doing? Getting better, girl, getting better. No choice but to just keep trudging. Yes, Magnolia Farms, you guys. Okay, so we took Sunday to go to Magnolia Farms, not really realizing Magnolia Farms is not open on Sunday. So we got to take fun pictures and like walk around and see everything from the outside, but not shop. So lucky for us, they were closed because we had said we want to go see this Buc-ee's place because we didn't really know. I've never been to one. I've been to Texas, but I've never been to a Buc-ee's. So Tammy was like, well, we can go just a little further down the road this way, and there's one, so we'll go there. So we had lunch at this really good barbecue place right there by Magnolia Farms. I don't remember the name, but it's just down the street from where the bakery is. It was excellent food. And if you guys like fried catfish and hush puppies and waffle French fries, the best. I don't eat catfish much anymore because they do something to it when they fry it up in the South, in Louisiana and Texas, that just makes it like, and then other people make it. It's like, ugh. So I tried it. It was amazing. I was really glad to get to have that. But so we left from there and then we went to Buc-ee's. Well, I don't know how to describe this place, except Buc-ee's is like, it's like a store and an amusement park and a fudge shop, like the downtown part of Disney, like it's all wrapped up in one. So we pull up to this place and it looks like a mini city. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy. And I'm looking around and there's like, I'm obviously exaggerating. I was going to say 1 trillion gas pumps, but there was at least 50 gas pumps there, but no tractor trailers. It was all just vehicles, just regular small vehicles. This place was enormous. I don't even know how many acres of property this place was built on. It was so big. So anyway, then we did the touristy stuff, right? Like we parked, we went in, we took our picture with the outdoor Bucky statue. I didn't even know there was a walk around character inside. It was like we were at Disney. So then it's just the four of us. We're walking around and this creature comes up beside of us, which was the Buc-ee's whatever, like the football team mascots and stuff. He was in a big costume. So we got pictures with him, but it was just absolutely a blast. There was a fudge shop in there. They were singing while they were cutting up the brisket and adding adding the sauce. That's the funniest thing. I haven't heard that since the fudge shops at the beach where they sing when they dump the fudge out of the kettle. So funny. And of course, we had to get beaver nuggets. But for those of you in Texas who don't visit Buc-ee's on the regular, shame on you. You should be going every day. But in there, they have sea salt and caramel. They had, what was that other one? So they have regular, they had sea salt and caramel, they have like cheddar cheese ones, they had jalapeno ones, and then, oh my God, they had the regular Buc-ee's nuggets dipped in chocolate. If you haven't had those yet, be careful because one is not enough and the bag will be empty before you know it. So, of course, girls, coming to the retreat, I got you some bulk bags for the retreat, and then I got my husband's co-workers some bags at work of sea salted caramel and regular, so he will be taking those to them shortly. But then look what I found. Okay, look, I realize I don't need a sippy cup at my age, but if I told you last Tuesday, and I think I might have, about the spill that occurred before we went live and how much stuff I could have potentially damaged, then maybe I do need a sippy cup at my age. It just might be a thing. So anyway, I was walking by and they had this little guy. Is he not the cutest? Look at this. Isn't he sweet? So it's a Buc-ee sippy cup. He's so cute. He's like 7 inches tall, a little straw. He's very weighted, so he's not going to fall over. He is the cutest little guy. So I will be having this for two purposes, so that I don't spill and wreck something at my station here, and also so that I don't chew ice on camera anymore, because let's face it, nobody likes that. Sometimes I just need it though, because my throat gets kind of and I need some rough ice to go down my throat. So I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum and under control with my little Buc-ee's here. He's so cute. And obviously we have to just call him Buc-ee because that's who he is, but he's adorable. So Buc-ee and Miss Maple, these are my two new characters for Cookie Snack Attack, and I hope you guys are going to get as much enjoyment out of them as I am. Now, let's go back and look at a few comments. Oh, by the way, the restrooms in this place, there was like 50 restrooms on the women's side. Like, I'm not joking. Most restrooms I've ever seen in one place in my life, and they were clean. That bathroom was clean, and there was a line, which apparently doesn't happen. There was a line that was out the door and past the fudge counter because I guess people were coming in for a football game. So anyway, I was in there. We were like out by the fudge counter where the line started, but I was into the restroom within 1 minute. I couldn't believe it. It was insane. The cleanest restrooms I've ever seen. Okay, so yes, Chip and Joanna Gaines. It was a really beautiful downtown area of Waco, and it was fun to get to see it, and we'll plan better next time. But can't say I'm sad that meant we had time to go to Buc-ee's, because I'm probably addicted now. Just being honest. Yes, the silos, so fun. So fun, so fun. Hey, Cindy, how are you? Julie, if you mean which Buc-ee's did we go to, it was 15 miles from Waco, whichever one that was. Is that, oh, we went to Temple? Is it Tammy? Are you saying Temple? Okay, so Holly, yes, absolutely. Cleanest bathrooms are north. The place is amazing. The Buc-ee's nuggets. Oh, I'm telling you what, Maggie brought them to me for the first time at a cookie con. And so crazy. Yeah, they were going to the Cowboy game. I think that's Tammy right there talking to us. Yeah, and the fudge. Oh, I didn't even share the fudge with them. I'm keeping that for me. Yes, the chocolate nuggets. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Patricia, you got candy pecans. Yeah. I think Jen got candied pecans. They looked delicious though. I know that those new toys are adorable, aren't they? So funny. You might get a little annoyed because we're going to use them, but do you want the chicken or the Buc-ee's? We can probably hook you up with either, Nadine. I don't know where she got the chicken that it had a rolling pin, because all the pictures of it online have other items, but so much fun. And I really needed it because I was freaking out Tuesday. Let's see what this says. Yeah, I think we should cookie them both, actually. Hey, Myra, how are you? Mary Jean, how are you? Yes, we will. Next time we'll plan it to where they're open. We didn't know. We didn't know. And I can't say I'm not sad that I'm not sad even a little bit that they weren't open because we got to go to Buc-ee's. So that was my first time to go to Buc-ee's and it was a lot of fun. Oh, it's going to be great. All right, let's see. I know this chicken's so funny. Hey, Nimrose, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad you made a live. Let's see. Cindy is heading to Maryland on Thursday. Making Air Force cookies. All right, well, good to go. I'm glad you're doing that. Are you doing that while you're watching us, Cindy? All right, so listen, here's what we have to finish up. Okay, first of all, updated schedule is in the group. Got all the special guests on it, any times that needed to be updated, all that sort of stuff. And let's just do a quick recap because you were not wrong in that it said part 2 of a 2 tutorial Tuesday, but it's the morning session. Those of you that were messaging me, that actually was correct because I could not do last Tuesday night because we had a little, little medical emergency, which, praise the Lord, was not nearly as bad as we thought it was going to be. So yay for us. Thank you, God. All right. Thank you guys again for all of those of you who reached out, sent messages, and were sending prayers and good vibes our way. Okay. We really appreciate it. All right. So the sunflower last week, we are using this shape. It's a Lila Loa rose cutter. Most of us have it because we've used it in other live streams. And then we just edited it a little by cutting off the leaves on this end, using just the cutter to cut it off. So we're going to make 2 different sunflowers today. Okay. And last week we went over that we needed thick icing and sunflower yellow in a brown and in a dark green. So that's the 3 colors we're going to use. We're going to do 2 cookies. You're going to see how quick these are, but they look like a lot of bang for your buck because it's dimensional piping. So I think you're going to enjoy that. I'm going to be using nonpareils for my center over the brown. Oh, Allison, good. You made it to your mom's already. That's awesome. Okay, well, tell her the Cookie Snack Attacker said hello. So we're going to use this for our center. And then these are the colors just in case. I went over them last week. We used Emerald Master Elite by the Sugar Art. And we used Sunshine Master Elite by the Sugar Art. And then the brown that I had handy was gel coloring from the Cookie Countess Totally Brown. You can use any yellow, any dark green, any brown. Okay. It does not have to be these brands. These are just what I had handy. They make nice colors and I enjoy using these. I've used them for other projects. So you probably already have them. I have my nonpareils in a little jar with a lid that's going to be just the right size to do the center of our sunflower because I want it kind of flat, like a sunflower looks with the seeds. So I'm going to be using this, but if you don't have your nonpareils in something, then you're going to need a little like sprinkle return tray or a coffee filter, paper plate, just something easy. Okay. Don't make it hard on yourselves. Then we have 2 tips that we went over last week. We've got a leaf tip, and I am going to actually use the tip because I made really thick icing. This is a 352 by Wilton, but if you've watched any of my live streams in the last 2 years, you know how to cut this inverted V into a tipless piping bag. Okay. Today we're using piping bags by 2T Stencils. You guys know I love these kind of bags because they have the texture on the outside, which for me is important because my hand. The problem I have with my hands. So it's just easier for me to have a bag that has some texture to the outside of it so I never lose hold of it. But these are medium-sized bags by 2T Stencils. They are on their website, so make sure you visit there to check these out. They're not stamped. That's why I'm making sure to point out to you where they came from, okay? They have great prices on bags there. And then this tip is like a 67 or a 70, but you see how it's got the inverted V in the center really small to make a vein with it, and then it's actually got the sides clipped. This is almost impossible to do with a tipless piping bag unless it's a super stiff plastic. You just won't get the look. So there's times, you guys, we talk about this a lot. Most of us avoid tips like the plague because we don't want to clean them. But there are times where they're just really necessary to get the look that you want. Okay. Oh, Barbara, make sure that you let us know how it goes, okay? And we hope you have a great day too. And you can catch the replay. We're at minute 27 and 27 minutes 41 seconds if you want to see the flower, and we're going to finish them up pretty quick because they go really fast. Yes, 2 T's tipless piping bags. Say that 3 times fast. All right, so let's get our sunflowers done. Now, I'm not putting diamond dust on them today, okay? So I won't have the perfect trifecta on the cookie, and that we're doing a dimensional piping. We normally have something sparkly on the cookie, and then we use candy somewhere. So we're just going to go for 2 out of 3 today because the diamond dust isn't going to add as much as airbrushing. All right, so I'm going to let these completely dry, and I'll do a bonus video tomorrow, just something really quick, and we're going to airbrush our petals and our leaves. Yes, finally, airbrushing in Cookie Snack Attack. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Now, I can't help you in the level of detail that Miss Tammy can help you on airbrushing. But if you message her, if you have questions about stuff, she's going to help you. They also sell guns, but they don't have them right now. I don't think they came in stock in the last 2 days. But just the stuff that we did on the cookies that we made. And I can't wait to show you my cookies, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. Okay. But I will do a little bonus, hopefully tomorrow. And let me put a caveat on that if everything goes well at the doctor's appointment today, right? If we're not somewhere doing something that has to be done immediately tomorrow, then I will do a bonus video once these dry. Now you could airbrush them today, but I'm not set up for that because I have to film another video right after this one that's due on the 15th. So here's your friendly reminder from Amy at Seriously Sweet and Cookie Snack Attack. If you are in Cookie-a-thon with Nancy Westfall, your videos are due by the 15th, and that's in 2 days. And that is due as in done, turn them in, edited. You got to get that baby to her. So I have a few things left to finish up with mine, and that will be my focus tomorrow. So when all the work is done, then I get to play. This will be my reward, and we're going to do a little airbrushing on our sunflower tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's get started with what we're going to do today. I'm going to be using these nonpareils as the center. Let's say hi to a few people real quick. Let's see. Hi, Sharon. How are you? I was almost in Richmond last night, Sharon, because, oh, you guys, did you see the video where I said sweating up a storm and I put the video out the plane window? So we're circling Dulles. We went really, really high. We were circling Dulles Airport, and all of a sudden the pilot comes on. I'm like watching out. I wasn't paying attention until the pilot drew my attention to it, okay? But it was storming like crazy here last night. Really bad storms in my area. Well, we were, I guess, making a round pattern, a loop pattern, just waiting because they weren't letting planes land. Well, at one point in the circle, and honestly, you guys, I was in the air. I couldn't see what was below us. I didn't have a compass on me. I don't know what direction we were going. But off to my left, there was like massive lightning, which I kept trying to capture on my phone, but I couldn't get any videos of that. But we were way up above that storm, and it still looked gnarly. Like, I was like, I hope we're not going down there in this. So then the pilot comes on, and the pilot said, hey, for the 52 of you on board that have connecting flights, you might have problems. And if we don't get to land in the next 10 to 15 minutes, then they're going to divert us to Richmond. Well, I don't know. I've never had that happen before. I didn't want to land in a storm. Obviously, I wanted everyone to be safe. But Richmond is 2 hours from my house in Culpeper this way, and Dulles is an hour and a half from my house this way, and my car was at Dulles and we were going to Richmond. I was like, I don't really want that either. So I just put a message up for y'all to pray that the storm would blow out real quick so we could land. And sure enough, y'all did. And we were landing in about 15 minutes. And then it took me longer to get home than my plane flight was because the traffic and the accidents were so bad. But that's just what it is when you live near the big city. That's just it. You just can't do anything about it. So that's what that video is last night. I didn't even put scary music with it because I feel like we didn't need to ratchet up the drama any with that. It was dramatic enough on its own. All right, so in my little container, I'm going to pour some of my nonpareils. This is great in a coffee filter too, by the way, guys, because they don't bounce as much in paper plates and coffee filters as they will on a hard plastic surface. This is about a 3-inch lid. I just want to have that ready to go. We're going to do the cookie without. Now we're repurposing a cookie cutter here, okay? So this is not exactly the right layout for a sunflower, but I'm going to show you how you can make it work because we all own this one. Oh, Sharon, you would have? That was so sweet. Thank you. I will I will let you know if something happens because I was like, what is going on? But I thought we had to be at a doctor's appointment at 9 a.m. this morning. I didn't know it had been changed. So I was just more concerned about that than literally where my car was. All right, so we're going to start in the center, and I'm going to have to pipe straight up and down. So what I'm going to try to do is angle this. Hopefully you won't see a bunch of my mess in the way here. But I want to pipe it straight up and down, but I still want you to be able to see it, because when you're doing something that you wanted to do as a circle, but you want to mound and you don't want to do an outline in a flood, I have a bigger opening cut in this bag. And so you see how I'm just working in circles in the center as I'm pushing the icing out. You guys could see that, all right? The way I had it. So do you see what I have on my cookie? So I have this cool round. All right, so let me bring it back. I just wanted to angle it a little bit, so because if my hand was directly above that, you wouldn't have been able to see that motion. And it's not that the motion is hard, it's just that most people aren't able to see it when people are broadcasting, so I wanted you to catch it. So now, because the center of a sunflower is normally flat and a little concave in the center, we're just going to set this right down into the nonpareils and give it a little push. And then we're going to rock it around the edges. Okay? And look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? Isn't that nice? All right, now it's a little bigger than I wanted, so we're going to try to make it work, but knowing that I'm going to make it a little smaller on this next one. So we have two different sizes. So now this one, I've moved the camera already, so I'm going to pipe straight up and down, okay? And I'm just working my circle, trying to build up my mound. This is thick consistency icing. I've got a nice circle in the center there, and I feel like that's all we need. All right, here we go. And I'm going to bring my nonpareils back over, and I'm setting it straight down in there. Now, I'm not smushing it. I'm just setting it till I can feel them catch, and then I'm going to rock it around on the edges so the whole thing is covered. And I love that because it gives us that brown undertone with the black, like the sunflower seeds are after all the yellow falls off. So if you really wanted to get an authentic sunflower look, you would do a little bit of yellow dust over top of this if you wanted it to look like a new freshly bloomed sunflower, because they have like all those little petally things in the center above the seeds initially. Okay, now hold on just a second because I want to do two of these at the same time. I don't want to have to do it after we're over. So since my big one got a little out of control, I'm just going to go ahead and take it off real quick and pipe a smaller one. Oh, by the way, listen, I absolutely feel this way. I want you guys to hear me when I say this. There's 1,010,000 different ways to do things. So if you want to pipe this differently, pipe it differently. My way is not the only way. It's not the best way. It's not even the only way that I know how to do it. So if there's something you see and you go, oh, well, that won't really work for my customer because of XYZ. It's too much icing. It's too dark a color, whatever. Then just do it a little bit different. There's no place where it says you have to do it exactly like I'm doing it, okay? I'm just showing you something that's pretty easy. Now, it's spread out pretty far, so I'm going to try to catch a few more nonpareils. I'm just trying to show you something easy, that's pretty, that's nice bang for your buck. Also, to my 3 haters who sent me messages, not the people that sent me videos in Cookie Snack Attack that are my friends and buddies showing me that other people know how to scrape icing, to the 3 people that sent me hater videos telling me that lots of other people have done that, clearly you didn't watch the whole video. So can we talk about that for a minute? Like, I'm not even going to respond to those when not you guys, because my people don't send me stuff like that. My people send me good stuff. But when the haters come on here, and you really just need to get a life and find Jesus. That's all I can tell you. Some of you have too much time on your hands when you're like hating on somebody that's doing something for free. Probably never going to understand you, and you're never going to understand me, and I'm totally cool with that. Now, the purpose of that video was not to show you that the cookies stain when you scrape the icing off. The purpose of that video was to show you to use your textured mats to your advantage, stain the cookie, scrape the icing off, and use it instead of making the edible lace so that you could do the embroidery work on the cookie, okay? So, like, seriously, if you're going to send me hate stuff, pay attention before you do it. Otherwise, you just look silly. All right, so there we go. Now that's off my chest. By the way, for the rest of you, I already banned them from the group because, like, I just don't have time for that mess, and neither do you. But I'm just saying, like, think people think. All right, here we go. That's my funny for the day, and I really needed to just get that off my chest because honestly, it's been bugging me for a couple weeks. So there you go. Now we have these two beautiful centers. I'm going to leave them like this. I'm not going to add anything else to this. I know, it's so funny, right? It's funny. I'm sorry. I shouldn't get to giggling, but like seriously, when these things come in at like 1 a.m, all I can do is laugh because I'm like, you just told on yourself. You didn't even watch the video and you didn't read the title. So it's just like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Oh, so funny. All right. So, and I'm not, again, I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about those of you who sent me videos, showing me videos of other people scraping the icing off. I am not talking about that. I'm talking about true, I hate you, I wish you'd get off the internet messages. To which I say, God bless you, scroll on. Oh, anyway. So here's my centers. Now, I like that brown look behind this, but if you didn't, one thing I would recommend that you would do that I have done before, I like the black nonpareils. If you want to, right now, you could crack out your airbrush and just lightly spray this around the edges and just dull it across the top with your airbrush with a black so you don't see the brown. But I like the brown. I like the brown, the yellow, and the green together, so I'm going to run with that. Don't send me hate mail if you don't. Just do it your own way if you don't like it, okay? Now, we're going to do our sleeve trick where we can pop icing into different, from one bag to another, so we can switch tips without the couplers. So I'm going to cut this where it'll fall into the tip, fall down into the tip. So when I'm squeezing icing, it'll stay in the tip. The outside part of my bag will stay clean. I'm going to do that on my green and my yellow because I'm going to reverse the tips for you. Since we're doing 2 flowers, that way you can pick what you like best for the tip. Okay, so you can see how I cut those, right? It's just meant to fit down in the sleeve. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with what I want to do for my petals first. And by the way, this petal in particular, no, I mean, seriously, it's just unbelievable. Yes, I like the brown under there too, because it gives it 2 colors without you having to do 2 colors of icing to create that. And you can see it gets a little spread, so you get the matte of the icing plus the shine in the nonpareil. So I like that too because it's catching light in 2 different ways. So Barbie can talk to us tonight about the importance of that in the photography. I think that's going to be, is that going to be one of the things you talk about? I think it is. I'm not sure. But this is a really good tip to use on poinsettias as well. And yes, you can say poinsettia. It's not going to offend me at all. I say poinsettia. You roll however you want to roll today. Now, I'm going to open this where you can see it here. I'm going to drop this in. That tip should just slide down into this so that this doesn't get messy and we can change this out. But we're going to start with this and we're going to start on the small cookie. Now, a million ways to do this, I'm sure. But what I'm going to do is do 2 rows because I really like the look of the dimensional piping and offset petals. It makes it just look so full. And there's going to be a lot of like fall weddings coming up and fall cookies coming up where people are going to want to see how to do this. So I like to start with my petal at a 45° to the cookie. Okay, but again, not the only game in town. There's other ways to do it. I like to let it attach, and then I just kind of give it a little in and out. Okay. It's going to be a little bit off the cookie, so clearly this is not a cookie I'm planning on bagging, right? I'm going to try to stay a little closer for y'all, though. There we go. Get underneath there so you can see how I'm lining up these petals here. I like for that bottom edge to fall off, but the top edge, I don't like for it to fall off. So I'll show you what I do for that, okay? So I'm at a 45, just a little jiggle and piping there. Oh, you know what? Let me put this on a piece of parchment so we don't get this whole work area dirty. Really, the icing is really stiff, like it's hard for me to pipe it right now, but it probably could be a little stiffer. So let me get that so it doesn't get all over the work area. And you could be cleaning the tip in between each of these, and you could be using a smaller version of this tip if you want to, which is what I'm going to show you when we switch to the leaf tip, okay? All right, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to, let me move this. I'm going to offset my petals and come right up to the center, and I'm going to pull it more upright, and then just wherever it falls, it falls. So I'm going to be going in between the leaves that are behind it. And you see how you get that, like, I've been in the wind, sunning myself all day look with these. So you're going to squeeze till you want no more icing out, and then you're just going to pop the bag off, okay? But they make the prettiest cookies. Oops. Hold on. I think we do actually have to wipe this off now. Got a little too much on the tip there. I try not to break and have to do that too many times because it slows you down when you're piping. But there are some times where there's just too much buildup or it didn't catch fast enough. Now, that's my other little trick. I don't know if you guys caught it, but watch this. Can you watch for a sec? I'm in it at an angle, but not a 45. And I let it do that. And I pull up and then I cross it back over so that it's got something underneath it to hold the petal up. Do you see that? Do you see how I did that? Like by just making a little S, and you won't actually see it. I come up, let it come down, and then pipe up over that little S you just made. You won't see it on the cookie because the cookies are all obviously going to be flat or upright for display, but it just helps hold that level of leaves up. All right, now I think that's all I want on here. I'll pipe a green leaf or two when we get to that tip. Okay, there, give me a little to put that leaf on. And we'll come upright. There we go. Then we got this really pretty little sunflower. It's cute, right? All right, so let's switch over to the other tip. What's the matter, baby? You okay? In a little bit. I'll be done in a little bit. Haven't been home for a few days, so the kids are demanding their outdoor time. They want playtime. So this is my leaf tip, okay? So you guys know we hold it like this, like a chicken, if a chicken were pecking you. All right, so let's get in here where I left some of these areas. We just want to go underneath the sunflower petals, make some little leaves here. We don't need a lot. It's really just for the accent of having that additional color. So just find a spot where you see some naked cookie and pipe those in there, okay? Now tomorrow, when these are totally dry, as long as nothing bad happens today, I have to feel like I preface my whole life with that now. As long as no medical thing comes up, we will do some airbrushing on these. And even though they're really pretty right now, once we add some airbrushing to them, you guys aren't even going to be able to stand it. Like if you don't have an airbrush, just start saving. You're going to need one. All right, so let me set this to the side. Now, what I want to show you is this. I want to show you the difference in the petals if I switch the bags, okay, of what the petals look like. You really could use either one of these petals for either leaf or the center, but I like this petal for the sunflower because it puts a vein down the center. But if you don't have that, don't go buy that. You can definitely get away with the other. All right, I'm pulling the yellow and the green out, and I'm going to exactly just swap the bags, okay? Uh-oh, that bag had a little issue. Now, I'm going to put my yellow in here. I have to squeeze it until I push all the green out. And we're going to do our petal first, okay? And normally I'd just put this into a bag of kitchen sink icing, but I don't have a bowl sitting here and I'm not working on anything else. So we're just going to go with it like this. This looks like John Deere, doesn't it? Let's see if we can get enough of the green out to do our yellow. Yeah, we're okay. These will be in the back, so I think they'll be fine. So this is a smaller tip, so you're not going to get the width. That's one thing I want you to notice. So we're going to do smaller petals because, you know, there's tons of different sunflower styles out there. We're going to work around the outside edge. It's a smaller tip, so you can also see how the icing with a smaller tip, same bag of icing, is plenty to where it's not falling over at all, because I'm not trying to get that really spread out look with these. So on the back row, I'm doing where it's still the 2 color. Hopefully by the time we get all the way around, that green will disappear, but it is kind of pretty. I'm not sure I really want it to disappear, but it should by the time we get all the way around. It'll have worked its way out of the bag. So I'm just doing a little shimmy shake, real professional term there, I know. Doing a little shimmy shake to create that outside edge. I'm going to go back and do a second row of petals that are more, this is like almost parallel to the cookie, how low I've got it laying to do this row. The next one's going to be at a 45 degree, fill in around the center, be upright a little bit more, and it's going to be offset in between the bottom row of petals. So let me get in here between 2, and we'll just start around this way. These go so fast though, you guys. And really it's, I have actually checked the volume of icing on these cookies before. If you do these short petals, not these real long ones like this, but if you do these real short petals like this, it's not much more icing, if more at all, than what you do on a normal cookie, and definitely less than most of the other floral designs that are out there. These guys are just little cutie pies. These are just as sweet as they can be. All right, so if you have any holes, just go in between the petals and fill in what you might see there. I'm going to put a couple extra petals over here just because I don't want so much green. But remember, we're going to be using that big tip. We're about to drop the green into that big tip, so it's going to be wider. And because it's going to be wider, we're not going to need, let me pipe some of this out, okay, just to get some of the yellow out. Get to that green leaf. That's really pretty. Because it's going to be wider, we won't need as many leaves. By the way, Tammy is an absolute genius at making royal icing. She taught us some tips and tricks this weekend, which I'm not going to tell you because she's teaching them at her retreats. But maybe one day Tammy will come on and tell us a few things. And maybe she's going to travel to be at one of our retreats next year. But we'll just see how that goes, right? Everybody's schedule's different and we don't want to pressure. All right, so we're going to slide that leaf under here. Look how nice that looks with this tip to make that big leaf. Now, someone asked me a few weeks ago, can you just do the leaf for both, the same petal tip for both? Yes, absolutely you can. It's going to read like a sunflower. It's not going to be a problem. Now, you see that icing though on here, how stiff it was on the littler one, and then on this one, because it's wider, I'm just going to tuck that under or take it completely off with my scribe or boo-boo stick, okay? This one, I'm just going to come right down the side and take it off. So let me show you the 2 sunflowers side by side. I am going to let them dry. And then we will do some airbrushing tomorrow as a bonus. If not tomorrow, if something does go to where we have another appointment or something and I just can't do it tomorrow, I will still do the airbrushing because I'm really excited to show it to you. Just, you know, I don't airbrush much because I can't answer a lot of questions for you about the guns and stuff. And really, I was so frustrated with mine that I didn't want to be in that loop where we're trying to answer questions and I don't know what I'm talking about and all of that. But I learned so much with Tammy and Todd this weekend. And I feel so silly that I didn't just call her months ago to ask her these questions because I was given really bad information from somebody else. And I really wish I had just called them because I was really enjoying my airbrush. And I don't know. Then just things started going haywire with it, which I could have easily fixed. I now know I could have easily fixed it. So look, this is reversed tips for the 2 sunflowers. So you want to talk about that real quick? You want me to zoom in? Let's go down here. I'll pull them up a little so you can see what I'm talking about, just in case you're joining us late. So sunflower, this sunflower, because I don't know if it's going to be on your right or left. This is the small tip, like how we cut the inverted bag to do tipless piping, like a chicken is pecking you. That's this here, same tip over here on this one. See this leaf? Let's push it up here where you can see it better. You see that leaf and this petal? That's the same piping tip. And then these sunflower petals and these leaves over here, same tip. So do you see that they blend in really well? But you can do it that way and then decide which way you like it. Now, I have a problem here because my favorite tip, my problem here is probably easily fixable, and I would just use the same tip for both. But this is my favorite tip to do the leaf with because it gets so wide and it has that nice like ivy look to it. And sunflowers have bigger leaves, right? So this right here, that's my favorite. And this is my favorite way to, this tip is my favorite way to pipe sunflower petals like this, these big ones. I like those better. And I like that ripped edge to do those and also to pipe poinsettias. So probably most of the time I would be using this one, but just because it's Tutorial Tuesday and we're experimenting, I just want you guys to see on two totally different cookies here, right? We've, first of all, we made the shape at the bottom of the sunflower cookie. We repurposed a rose cookie cutter. We did sunflowers. We did something different in the center for you, but you got to see two tips reversed on each of these two cookies, okay? But they're just so cute. They're also great, by the way, to do in buttercream if you're going to flat box your cookies because your buttercream will crust, but you can't bag them and you can't stack them. So you have to be prepared for that in case anybody asks you for that for fall. So if you have people that would not like to have the royal icing, they'd like to have buttercream, it is doable. You just do it with cake and cupcake toppers, piping tips, I mean, but just know you can't stack them. Even if they feel like they're crusty, they don't dry all the way to the center. Okay. All right. So let's see if we have any questions over here. Let me see. And if anybody else wants to say hello. I think I showed that one already. Sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I think we're caught up to here. Let's see. I know. And I like it with black sugar too, Mary Jane. So I have the nonpareils handy. That's why I'm showing that. But I do like it with the black sugar over the brown center. I don't normally do a brown icing in the center because it's sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't normally do black icing as the icing in the center of these. Also because it's going to stain your tongue and your teeth and all of that, right? And then because it is a considerable amount of icing, even on these 4-inch cookies, to do that big center. And I do like the big centers on the sunflowers. Although, again, 100 ways to do things. Oh, Nicole, make these and send me pictures. They do have smaller center sunflowers now. Oh, Mary Jean, did I fix that? I hope you got to see what you wanted to. You do, Barbie. I'm so glad. So glad. Yeah. So it's Tutorial Tuesday, right? And I'm sorry, it was going to be funny because we had Tutorial Tuesday, and the second part of Tutorial Tuesday, part 2 of 2, was going to be 2 different cookies from the same cutter, 2 tips, 2 cookies, and switching the tips out, the 2 colors and all that. But then we couldn't do it that night, so we just have to deal with it. Nancy, I'm so glad you like them. I like the centers. It's fun. And black sugar, sanding sugar over the center of these also looks fantastic and doesn't do nearly the damage to your teeth, tongue, and lips as black icing in the center. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Send me the pictures. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy's is also pretty in here too, though, if people want candy and not sugar and not nonpareils. Jimmy's looks great. And a little bit of airbrushing, a little bit of black airbrushing over the brown Jimmy's on brown icing, and that's dynamite too, Mary Jane. So as we all start working with our airbrush guns. Now, you could use the chocolate-covered sunflower seeds for the center, but then you're going to have to, okay, let's just go back to this. Decoration-wise, absolutely, you can do that, and that does look cool too, but then you might have some people that are allergic to seeds or whatever, so then you might have to put up a sign. So on situations like this, I'm always going with the minimal amount of things that I have to label, especially if they're going to a wedding, right? All right, you enjoy that work meeting. I'm going to work too, but I'm going to work in cookies. I feel a little guilty that you have to go to an accounting meeting and I'll still be doing cookie videos. Not that guilty. Oh, Yes, I love the look. And also, guys, the jimmies, if you bust them up to where they're smaller pieces, that looks good too. Really good. Yes. Okay. All right. So let me just show you this again in case you joined us late. I don't want anybody to miss tonight because you really are going to be able to up your photography skills. All right. So Miss Barbie will be with us tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And we're going, let me take this off because I want this to be in the bottom in case you go back to see this later. All right. So improving cookie photography skills. And she's got a nice little handout for you. We've got videos. Like she's really done it up right for you guys. So please show up and support her. Anytime we're live, we would love for you to share the videos, the free tutorials, and the guests. All of it. Just share it all. Spread some joy in the cookie world. Please know that tomorrow night at 7, Matei will be here, Matei Del Angel, and she's going to be doing that little witch, and I'm going to sculpt a really cute ghost that you could use on a cookie, but more likely you'd use it on a cupcake or as a cake topper. We're going to round out our last guest of the month with Miss Becky Norton, who's going to show us about preserving showpiece cookies or any cookie that you want to save. She has a supply list in my Amazon shop. That Amazon shop link is pinned to the top of the Cookie Snack Attack Facebook group page. So go there, find the list that is specifically for her tutorial. We'll be seeing her on Tuesday, September 27th. And let's see. Oh, yeah. And if you're going to be in Ohio, don't forget your girl here because I'm going to be teaching on Tuesday. I'll teach 2 classes on Tuesday, May 2nd. Yeah, May 2nd. Yeah, May 2nd for sure in Ohio. And I'm not going to show those cookies before they show the cookies, but let me just tell you that they're really cool cookies. So I hope you'll take both the classes. And this is our new logo for Cookie Snack Attack if you haven't been around lately. So if you see that, just know it's us. Join in on the fun. If you need to get live stream text alerts, text the word live stream, all capital letters, all one word to 540-870-0726. As always, stay sweet, spread the joy, and I will see you tonight at 7 with Miss Barbie. We're going to have a great time. See you guys later.